Stop scrolling for a second and ask yourself this. Why do some people walk through life getting respect automatically, while others are constantly ignored, disrespected, or underestimated? It's not luck, it's not charm, and it's certainly not about being loud or aggressive. The truth is far simpler and far more powerful than most people realize. If you want to stop people from disrespecting you ever again, you need to understand one life-changing principle that transforms the way others treat you, starting today. This isn't a trick, and it's not about intimidation. It's about owning your presence, protecting your energy, and creating an invisible boundary around yourself that no one dares to cross. By the time this video is over, you'll know exactly how to command respect in every situation, at work, at home, in friendships, or even with strangers, without raising your voice or proving yourself to anyone. Here's the reality most people never admit. Disrespect is allowed, not forced. People only walk over you because somewhere deep down, you're giving them permission. Whether it's hesitation, over-explaining, or staying silent when you should speak up, your actions, or inactions, communicate to the world how you allow yourself to be treated. And that's why some people seem untouchable. They've already set their invisible standard, and everyone else respects it, whether they realize it or not. The very first step to stopping disrespect is internal recognition of your worth. You need to accept that your time, your energy, and your voice matter. When you value yourself in a way that is undeniable, disrespect simply loses its power. You don't react emotionally. You don't get defensive. You respond with calm confidence that immediately shifts how people approach you. When your presence communicates that you respect yourself, others instinctively mirror that respect. Think of it like a magnet. You project strength, and people naturally maintain boundaries without you ever having to enforce them aggressively. Next, it's crucial to set clear, unwavering boundaries. Boundaries are not a threat. They are a declaration of your value. If a colleague interrupts you constantly, you calmly say, "I'd like to finish my point, then I'm happy to hear your thoughts." If someone makes a hurtful comment, you assert, "I don't find that acceptable, and I'd appreciate respect." These boundaries are simple, clear, and non-negotiable. Consistency is key. Every time you let someone cross a line without consequence, you teach them that disrespect is allowed. But when you reinforce your boundaries calmly and consistently, people immediately understand that you are not someone to mess with. Finally, remember that commanding respect is a habit, not a one-time action. Every interaction is a chance to reinforce your value and your limits. Respect grows when it is repeatedly experienced, and disrespect disappears when it is no longer tolerated. This is not about being intimidating or unkind. It's about self-respect, clarity, and consistency. Once you master this, you will notice something incredible. People naturally treat you differently. They listen, they honor your space, they recognize your value, and they stop trying to disrespect you because it simply doesn't work anymore. Let's dive deeper into how this works in real life. Imagine a scenario at work. Your ideas are constantly ignored in meetings, or a colleague takes credit for your effort. Most people either stay silent, complain to someone behind the scenes, or lash out in frustration. None of these reactions command respect. The powerful approach, the one that actually changes how people treat you, is calm, consistent, and assertive action. You assert your point clearly, without anger or apology, and you follow up consistently. For example, if a coworker interrupts you, say, "I'd like to finish my point first, then I'm happy to hear yours." Say it once calmly. Say it again if needed. Don't yell, don't beg, don't justify. Over time, your consistent assertion creates a natural barrier. People realize that you are not someone they can disregard. This is the silent power that forces respect without confrontation. Respect is deeply tied to perception. People treat you the way you allow yourself to be treated. That's why it's crucial to own your energy. If you walk into a room unsure of yourself, even the most minor comment can cut you down. But if you walk in, grounded, confident, and clear about your value, disrespect immediately loses its footing. This is why some people seem untouchable. They radiate a sense of self-worth that others intuitively understand. You don't need to announce it or prove it. Your presence communicates it. It's subtle, but it's undeniable. This is not arrogance, it's awareness. And when you combine awareness with clear boundaries, you create a magnetic respect that is nearly impossible to ignore. Another powerful tool to stop disrespect is selective engagement. Not every battle is worth your energy. Disrespect often thrives when you respond emotionally or give power to someone's negative behavior. Instead, pick your battles wisely. Respond only when necessary, and do so with calm authority. This forces people to adapt to your rules, not the other way around. Over time, they learn that disrespect will either be ignored or gently but firmly corrected. And that pattern alone teaches them to treat you differently. People respect those who are deliberate, not reactive. Let's talk about personal relationships for a moment. Family, friends, or even partners can sometimes cross lines because of familiarity. In these cases, it's tempting to forgive too quickly, make excuses, or let things slide. But here's the reality. Respect is not earned by enduring mistreatment silently. When you assert your boundaries with loved ones consistently, they may resist at first, but they ultimately learn your limits. You are not being cold or harsh. You are teaching others how to treat you while protecting your own well-being. Over time, these boundaries strengthen your relationships rather than weaken them. Disrespect cannot coexist with consistency and clarity. Another critical mindset shift is understanding that disrespect often reflects the other person's insecurities, not your shortcomings. When someone belittles, interrupts, or undermines you, it's rarely about you. It's about them testing their own control, ego, or authority. Recognizing this allows you to detach emotionally and respond strategically. You no longer feel personally attacked. You no longer allow their behavior to define your self-worth. Instead, you respond with calm, measured confidence, reinforcing your boundaries without escalating conflict. This mental shift alone changes the dynamic entirely. Finally, remember this. Respect is a habitual practice. It's not a one-time speech or confrontation. Every interaction, no matter how small, is an opportunity to reinforce your boundaries and communicate your value. Over time, people around you begin to internalize a simple truth. Disrespecting you is not an option. They adapt their behavior because you've consistently demonstrated that you won't tolerate anything less than respect. And when you combine this with self-awareness, calm confidence, and selective engagement, you create an environment where respect is automatic. Now let's talk about advanced strategies that take your ability to command respect to the next level. The first of these is body language and presence. People often underestimate how much their posture, tone, and eye contact communicate value. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back, and maintain calm, steady eye contact when speaking. Your voice should be firm, but relaxed, never shaky or hesitant. Even before you speak, your physical presence communicates confidence and self-worth. This subtle, nonverbal communication tells the world that you are someone who commands respect without needing to prove it verbally. When combined with clear boundaries, this presence acts like a shield. Disrespect simply cannot penetrate it. Another strategy is strategic silence. Sometimes the most powerful response to disrespect is no response at all. Silence is not weakness. It is a demonstration of control. When someone tries to provoke or belittle you, instead of reacting emotionally, pause, breathe, and respond only when necessary, and always from a place of calm authority. This approach forces others to confront their own behavior because they see that their tactics don't work on you. Strategic silence, paired with selective engagement, creates a psychological effect. People quickly learn that disrespect is ineffective and that you are not easily shaken. Next is the power of consistency in your daily interactions. Every small situation, whether it's a minor interruption, a rude comment, or an unfair expectation, is a test. How you respond each time builds your reputation for respect. Over time, People internalize the message that disrespect is never tolerated. This applies across every area of life, at work, with family, in friendships, and even with strangers. Your consistent behavior sets the invisible rules for how others treat you, and those rules are respected automatically. It's not about intimidation, it's about demonstrating that your self-worth is absolute and non-negotiable. Let's also address mindset reinforcement. Respect begins within. Each morning, remind yourself of your value. Visualize interactions where you remain calm, confident, and assertive. Picture yourself setting boundaries without apology and commanding respect effortlessly. This mental rehearsal strengthens your confidence and primes your behavior for real-world situations. When you act from a mindset of unwavering self-respect, others respond accordingly. Respect is contagious. Project it consistently, and the world mirrors it back to you. Another essential practice is preparing for resistance. Not everyone will accept your boundaries immediately. Some people will test them repeatedly, push limits, or try to provoke you. This is normal. The key is not to react with frustration or guilt, but to calmly reaffirm your limits each time. Over time, resistance fades because people learn that your boundaries are permanent, not negotiable. When you approach these moments with patience and confidence, you transform potentially negative interactions into opportunities to reinforce your authority and self-respect. Finally, incorporate daily habits that reinforce your presence and value. This includes things like speaking clearly, avoiding self-deprecation, taking care of your body and energy, and surrounding yourself with people who respect you. Habits are the invisible architecture of respect. They shape how others perceive you, often more than words alone. Over time, these habits become automatic, creating a personal environment where disrespect cannot thrive. When you combine these habits with boundary setting, consistency, calm authority, and strategic silence, you create a life where respect is no longer earned, it is simply assumed. By mastering these strategies, you will notice a profound change. People who once disrespected you begin to treat you differently. Colleagues listen. Friends honor your space. Family members recognize your limits. Even strangers instinctively give you the consideration you deserve. You become untouchable, not because you are intimidating, but because you project confidence, self-respect, and clarity in everything you do. This is the life lesson that changes everything. Disrespect cannot exist where self-respect is unwavering and boundaries are absolute. As we wrap up, let's recap the most important lesson. Respect starts with you. You cannot control how everyone behaves, but you can control how you show up in the world. When you value yourself, set clear boundaries, act consistently, and maintain calm authority, people naturally mirror the respect you project. Disrespect becomes impossible because your presence communicates strength, clarity, and self-worth. This is not about aggression or intimidation. It's about creating an invisible shield that protects your energy and enforces your value without conflict. Remember, this journey begins with a single commitment: to stop tolerating disrespect in any form. The next time someone interrupts, belittles, or undermines you, pause, breathe. Act from confidence, not anger. Speak your truth calmly. Enforce your boundaries consistently. Over time, these small but deliberate actions compound into a powerful personal reputation for respect. People notice, they adapt, and most importantly, you feel empowered because you are finally living life on your own terms. Respect is also a mindset, and it grows stronger the more you reinforce it daily. Each morning, remind yourself that your voice, your time, and your energy are invaluable. Visualize yourself standing tall in every interaction, asserting your boundaries with calm authority, and receiving the respect you deserve. These mental exercises prime your confidence and help you carry it into real-life interactions effortlessly. Combine this with strategic silence, selective engagement, and consistent boundary enforcement, and you create a life where disrespect cannot survive. Finally, understand that this is a lifelong practice, not a one-time event. Every day presents opportunities to strengthen your self-respect, and demonstrate it to the world. Every interaction is a chance to reinforce your boundaries and elevate your presence. By consistently applying these lessons, you transform not only how people treat you, but also how you experience life. You feel more confident, more empowered, and more in control of your energy. And the best part? People will sense your unwavering self-respect, and disrespect will stop before it even starts.
In meaningful conversation,
if this lesson resonates
honesty
with you,
is more important
don't let
than
it stop
polish.
here.
Let yourself
applying it
speak
today.
without judgment.
Identify
Let yourself
one area
cry
in
if
your
you
life
need to.
where you've tolerated
Let yourself
disrespect
laugh,
and
dream,
commit to enforcing
and even
a clear,
rage.
calm boundary.
All of it belongs on
Practice
the
it
page.
consistently.
This is your
Notice
sanctuary,
how people react.
your private space,
Over time,
where you
will
can
witness a
explore the
dramatic
full
shift,
spectrum of human
not only in
experience.
how others treat you,
You might be
but in how you
surprised by
perceive
what
yourself.
emerges. Insights that have been
self-respect
hiding
becomes
in the
unshakable,
corners of your mind,
and your life becomes
feelings
a
that
reflection
have
of
been
the boundaries
buried
and
under the
values
noise
you
of life.
enforce. So here's
Desires
your
you
takeaway.
didn't even know were yours.
Respect is commanded.
Journaling
not
uncovers
requested.
them.
Disrespect
Journaling
is tolerated
illuminates
only
them.
when allowed.
And when you
Protect
see
your
them
energy,
clearly,
set your
you
boundaries,
can finally act on
and
them.
act with unwavering confidence.
Over time, journaling becomes more than a habit.
and you will never have
It
to
becomes
worry
a
about
lifestyle.
being disrespected again.
It's a lens through
Now
which
take
you
action.
see the world and yourself.
Reflect on one boundary.
You begin
you
to
need to
notice your
enforce today.
triggers, your strengths,
Commit to it
and
silently.
the patterns that shape your
Assert
choices.
it calmly.
You start to
notice how your world
recognize
begins
which
to
habits
change.
serve you
Your
and which
presence,
ones hold you
your
back.
confidence, and your
You
consistency
gain the ability
are
to
all it
course
takes
correct
create
in
a
real
life where
time,
respect is automatic.
to make intentional
Start today.
choices instead
And
of
watch as the
reacting
people around you
automatically.
adjust naturally to the power of your
Life
self-respect.
stops happening to
To truly
you
stop people from
and starts
disrespecting
happening
you,
with you.
it's essential to adopt long-term
That's the power
habits
of
that reinforce
self-awareness.
your presence and value.
And journaling is the gateway.
Respect is not earned overnight.
There's also an
and a single
incredible
boundary is
emotional
not enough.
benefit.
Think of
Writing down
respect
your
like a
struggles
muscle.
reduces
The more
stress,
you exercise it,
anxiety,
the stronger
and
it
overwhelm.
becomes. Start
Scientific
small.
studies show
Correct
that
minor
journaling
instances of
literally
disrespect
rewires your
immediately.
brain,
Whether it's
creating
someone speaking
pathways
over
that
you,
help you process
making
emotions,
a dismissive comment,
solve
or
problems,
ignoring your ideas.
and manage mental health.
Each small action builds
The act
your
of writing
reputation
is like a
and
release
trains
valve,
others to recognize that
letting
your
go
limits
of mental
are absolute.
pressure and creating space
Over
for clarity
time,
and calm.
These repeated calm
When
responses
you journal
create a
consistently,
consistent pattern.
you notice
people
your
cannot
emotional
ignore or
storms
violate.
passing faster,
Another
your mind
important
calming
strategy
quicker,
is to
and your
develop
ability to
emotional
handle
resilience.
challenges improving
Disrespect
dramatically.
Often
It's like
triggers
carrying
anger,
an invisible shield
frustration,
that
or
protects your
self-doubt.
peace.
But reacting
And
emotionally
here's a point
gives
that might
power back to
resonate
the
deeply.
person trying to disrespect
Journaling
you.
strengthens gratitude,
Instead,
hope,
practice
and
detachment.
optimism.
Observe the
When
behavior
you reflect on your
without taking it
experiences,
personally.
your wins,
Remind yourself
and even your
that their
struggles,
disrespect
you start to
reflects
see
their
the
mindsets
threads
and
of growth that
choices,
run through your life.
not your worth.
You realize that
By maintaining
setbacks are not
emotional
failures,
control,
but
you strengthen
lessons.
your presence.
You
and
begin to see
communicate
challenges as
that
stepping
no one can
stones,
shake you
and you
or
start to
manipulate your
appreciate
energy.
your resilience.
Calm
The
authority,
page becomes a
paired
witness
with
to your
consistent
courage,
boundaries,
a
is
record
one
of
of
your
the strongest
triumphs,
signals people can
and a
perceive.
constant reminder
It's also
that you are
crucial
capable of
to
more
choose
than
your
you ever
environment
imagined.
and relationships wisely.
Journaling also
Surround
cultivates
yourself with
creativity
people who respect
and
you
problem
naturally
solving.
and align
When you
with
allow
your
your
energy.
thoughts to flow freely,
Toxic
your
environments or
mind makes
relationships
connections it might never
often
make in
normalize
structured
disrespect
thinking.
and
You
make it
find
harder to enforce
solutions
boundaries.
that were previously
By
invisible.
limiting exposure to
You
such
discover
negativity
ideas,
and prioritizing
insights,
people who elevate
and
you,
innovations that
you
seem to
create a
appear
supportive
from nowhere.
ecosystem where
But in
respect
reality,
is the default.
They were waiting
This
quietly
doesn't
in your
mean avoiding
subconscious
challenges,
until
but
you
does mean
created the
protecting your
space to
energy
hear them.
and reinforcing yourself.
This is why some of the world's greatest artists, leaders,
often
and thinkers
overlooked
swore by
technique
journaling.
is preparing your responses.
They knew that
in
the pen is
advance.
more than a tool.
Think about situations
It's a
where
portal to the
disrespect
deepest
commonly
parts of
arises.
yourself.
Meetings,
And let's not
social
forget the
gatherings,
long-term impact.
family dinners, and
Years
plan
from
how
now,
you will respond
when you look
calmly
back through your
and
journal,
assertively.
you'll see your
This
journey
preparation
unfold in
reduces
black and white.
hesitation and ensures
You'll
you
see how
maintain
far you've
consistency,
come,
even
the
under
growth
pressure.
you've achieved,
Practice
and the
phrasing
obstacles
like,
you've overcome.
I'd like to finish speaking.
There is something incredibly empowering in witnessing your own evolution. It reminds you that you are capable of change, that you are resilient, and that your life is a story worth telling, one page at a time. Journaling preserves your legacy, your thoughts, and your growth in a way that nothing else can. So here's my challenge to you. Start today. Pick up a pen, open a notebook, write a single word, a single sentence, or a single thought, and then write another. Let the words flow. Let the pages fill. Allow yourself to experience the magic of seeing your own mind, heart, and soul reflected in ink. Journaling is not a chore.
It's not an obligation. It's a gift to yourself that grows in value with every word. It's a practice that will change how you think, feel, and act. It's a doorway to a life that is more intentional, more connected, and more fulfilled than you ever imagined possible. Remember this: your story matters, your thoughts matter, your growth matters. By journaling, you are claiming your life, taking responsibility for your growth, and stepping into the person you are meant to be. Every word you write is a step toward clarity, freedom, and self-discovery. So don't wait. Start now. Start with a single line. Start with a single page. Start with the courage to show up for yourself today, because the life you want is waiting on the other side of the pen. Let's take a moment and imagine a real-life scenario. Picture someone waking up after a long, exhausting week, feeling mentally cluttered,